if we talk about the therapeutic aspect of yoga, or you can say the yoga therapy, 4 things we have to keep in mind. Very first thing is the body posture. Okay, so you need to, if anybody is eligible, if anybody is able to do the proper as instructed in the yogic textbook, the proper body posture, most of the ratio we need to find out, most of the label we need to try the patient or the client to reach that posture. Okay, but if he or she is not able to attain that posture, then only comes the use of props. Okay, so first the body alignment comes in this category. So if the person is not able to do that, then we need to use the props, and for that the anger style you need to use different props, and then you have to decide which prop is good for that patient and which is not. Okay, and for how long. Okay, this is also important. You can't use wheel for longer, or you can't use strap for every time. So this is also important. So here we decide this, the first one, very first one. Then the person is able, if the person is able to attain that body posture, the next thing will be, where is his mind or her mind while attaining that posture. For example, if somebody has come to us with some breathing problem, let's say breathlessness, or let's say lung infection, or you can say bronchitis, something like that, and you need to work on the thoracic area, back opening, front opening, thoracic opening practices. He has attained the posture in any way, either using prop or self, or with the help of your support. And now the comes, where is his mind? So you need to focus on his mental fluctuations also. Then you need to ask where to focus. You have to focus on this area. And then how you feel. First the gross thing, the muscle, the bone, the stretching of the muscles, the stretching of the rib cage. I am just taking an example. How it is expanding as you are going back. Okay, and then you will talk about the yogic aspect. If he or she is able to feel the expansion going back, try to be slow as much as you can when you are using yoga as therapy, then in that case. So when he or she has attained the posture, then focus first on the gross things, the physical things, the muscle, bone, etc. And then focus on the yogic thing, that is, try to focus some energy in the center of thoracic. If he or she is not aware of chakra or the energy centers, then just say, try to visualize, hold the position and try to visualize some energy center here. Any color, either yellow, blue, green, any color, initially any color. And then try to either inhale deep, exhale deep, and when you are inhaling, then comes the breathing. Okay, visualization with breathing. So mind will be where? At the thoracic. Either focus on the color, which color you are able to visualize, or either focus on the shape, which shape are you able to visualize, this area, thoracic area. And then if he or she, let's say, is able to visualize yellow color, okay, then tell him or her to correlate that visualization with breathing. So when you are holding for longer, you can't hold the breath for longer, okay, as a patient. So in that case, we will tell him or her to visualize. What to visualize? In as you are inhaling, you just have to try to visualize that energy is increasing, covering the whole thoracic. And as you are, it means it is healing. And as you are exhaling, you just have to visualize the energy is diminishing, but cleansing process is going on. All the negativity is going out through your nostril. So this you need to instruct. First the body, then the mental focus, then the breathing with visualization, and then comes the rhythm. What is rhythm? Here, rhythm means how you are going back. Let's take the example of thoracic opening. How you are going back, what is the pace of going back, and what is the pace of coming back, coming down. And while going back, what will be the breathing pattern, and while coming back, what will be the breathing pattern. So rhythm is flow in a very systematic way, changing the positioning, changing the posture in very systematic and very rhythmic way. That is called the balancing the rhythm of the posture. Okay, it can be in general called as correlation the
so
pace.
then here you mean the rhythm of the posture, not of the breathing?
No, body posture, rhythm constitute breathe, mind, body. Three things. How you are correlating the three things, this is called rhythm. Okay, how you are correlating the body posture change, how you are correlating the focus change, how you are correlating the breathing change. The three combination combined together, these three combine together to form the rhythm. So you need to maintain the rhythm in yoga therapy, either in any therapy, but this is the base. These are the practice. These are done while you are instructing the practice. Now comes how to diagnose. If somebody says you need to ask after the practice or in resting time, you need to ask, what color did you visualize here? What shape did you visualize here? What you felt while going back and coming down? So all these questions we need to ask again and again during the whole session. Okay, during the resting between the session. Okay, resting phase in the session, in one session especially, first session especially. The color will tell you something about his personality or her personality. The shape, whatever shape he or she is able to visualize, will tell you the personality, about his personality or the problem he is or she is suffering from, the root cause. And the feeling, how he feels while changing the posture or doing the practice, and what is the emotion he or she is making while doing the posture, what his mind, either his mind is focused on the practice or not. All these things will help you to diagnose the root cause of the problem, the depth of the problem. Are you having basic knowledge of chakra?
Yes.
Yes. So I think you better know about the shapes of different chakra.
Yes.
And color of different chakra. Okay. So that will be helpful in diagnosing better.
Sure, but a person who doesn't have knowledge about the shapes of chakra?
It doesn't matter. Patient
Anyhow, they can visualize
yes,
something.
anything. They can visualize. The patient or the client or the person who is suffering coming to you for therapy, he or she can visualize any shape. You have to analyze that. Okay? If, for example, if let's say somebody says, I am able to see bright white color here. Vivid white color, not the very condensed one. Initially, most of the people visualize vivid white color, smoky color, or smoke like structure here. So in that case, you have to understand which chakra is overpowering the heart chakra. What do you say?
Concerning colors, I don't have too much experience, but
so let's say one example. Heart, the color of heart chakra is green.
Yes.
Okay, and if somebody is able to visualize the smoke color, not the green color here, it means, and what is this, what is the color of Sahasrara?
White.
White or a smoky, okay? And if it is dark, it is towards the negativity. If smoky color is more towards the darkness, it means more towards the characteristics of Sahasrara, but towards the negativity. Higher consciousness, higher intuitions, all these things. The Sahasrara quality of that person is overpowering the heart quality. It means, okay?
Too much thinking.
Yes, overthinking or anxiety is overpowering his emotions, controlling his emotions. Means his emotions are being driven by the tension of future. His most of the decisions of life is being driven by the future aspects. Okay, and lot of thinking, decision making power is being overpowered by overthinking. So in this way you can diagnose the correlation, or you can diagnose which chakra is overpowering which chakra on the basis of color or shape. For that you need to have a basic understanding of the color and shape of each and every chakra. So if any yoga therapist has the knowledge of chakra color and shape, he or she will be able to diagnose better the mental root of the problem, the psychological root of the problem he or she is suffering for. Because most of the problem right now in this era is psychosomatic. Okay, mostly it originates from the mind. So it is very very helpful in yoga therapy. Okay, so let's say other thing. If somebody is able to visualize the smoky color here, but shape is of different chakra, like the crescent shape or zigzag shape, not very specified shape here. Smoke color, not a specified shape, means no, not the shape of heart chakra. Except the shape of heart chakra, he is able to see other shape or zigzag shape, a different color. Nothing about heart chakra. It means his heart chakra is completely overpowered by any other chakra. If the shape is not specified, he or she is not able to specify you the shape, proper shape. He said, oh, I am not able to understand what is the shape actually. Then you need to analyze. Even in the zigzag form, you have to ask, what can you draw on the page, or can you tell me, is the zigzag pattern is continuous, or is the zigzag pattern is discontinued? What kind of zigzag pattern? Okay. So shape analysis, color analysis, everything will be helpful in yogic aspect, in yoga therapy. Let's say one specific example. If somebody is able to see the shape of crescent moon, this kind of shape, C shape, you can say C structure, it means his or her heart, functioning of the heart chakra is being controlled or overpowered by sacral chakra. Yes, means his sexual desires is overpowering his emotions. Okay, he or she is not able to control his emotions when the sexual desires are being triggered out. Okay, in that case, a person can suffer from hysteria, a person can suffer from STDs, sexually transmitted diseases, all the other such kind of problems. Okay, so not every time it is very accurate, but related. Most of the time these diagnoses are being related with the problem he or she is suffering from, the actual problem, whatever the problem, it doesn't matter, but it is related in some way that actual problem of that person. So you need to analyze that on the basis of your own understanding. So after the physical practice, like after prescribing some asanas, some pranayam to that person, the patient, if you do analysis after or during the practice, you will be able to impose some of the meditation technique or dharana technique or concentrating techniques or some of the psychological techniques. Okay, some spiritual counseling you can do, because you will be understanding which chakra is needed to be healed in that person. Okay, so as a yoga therapist, you must not only focus on asanas, you have to focus on spiritual counseling, yogic spiritual counseling, handling with the chakras functioning. Chakra counseling or chakra healing you can add up, and all the other alternative healings if you have knowledge, otherwise only related to the yoga, especially in the yogic therapy. So you need to work on the mind also. Okay, in that you will add pranayam, you will add chakra healing, you will add some of the dharana or concentrating practices, you will add some kriya, you will add some cleansing. Okay, if you, after analyzing all these things, if you feel like a person's manipur chakra, that is the navel chakra, is not functioning good, you can add up some cleansing practices also in order to boost up his or her navel chakra. So therapy means, yoga therapy means not only asanas.
Sure.
Anything you can combine together, and in holistic, that is called holistic healing, holistic yoga approach. Anything you can combine, any yogic practice you can combine. Yeah, Ayurveda also in yes, marma therapy is also combined in yoga therapy. Okay, special yoga, special asanas for pressing the special marmas. Okay, like if you are doing Bhramari pranayam, Sanmukhi mudra. Okay, you are pressing different marma points of the face. Okay, so ultimately you are using marma therapy also combined with the yoga therapy. So yoga therapy can also be combined in complementary with all the other alternative therapies. So that will be giving the holistic approach to the patient, and the recovery rate will be higher. Okay. So the patient only need to be recovered. He or she doesn't know anything. He or she is not affected by what you are trying to do with him. He just want to be recovered. That is the thing. So you can use all the alternative ways also combined with the yoga therapy.
Sure.
Okay. In therapy, as a therapy, we must be very cautious while adopting bandhan mudra. In therapy, we must be very aware before adopting any mudra or any bandhas. Okay, because if the person will not be able to handle that energy, because as we know, mudra circulate the energy, channelize the energy, and bandha lock the energy at one center point. Okay, so both is working with the higher energy. So if the patient is not able to hold that energy, or if the patient level is not so higher, then you must not adopt any mudra or bandha initially in the therapeutic session. Okay, that is also important. That is one of the contraindication we need to keep in mind. So in yoga therapy, we most of the time we ignore the food, the diet. Okay, and some or most of the yoga therapists tell them to focus on asanas or yogic practices as it is. They say that go for the yoga and go for the that therapist to have your diet chart. But as a good yoga therapist, you need to keep in mind what is yogic diet. You need to prescribe some yogic diet routine to the patient, because without diet amendment, without lifestyle amendment, no therapy, yoga therapy will be effective. Okay, so the next thing is diet. After that, the lifestyle. from morning to evening, what is his lifestyle. That is important to understand. What you need to amend, and what are the things he or she has to avoid in his day-to-day lifestyle. So first talk about the diet. So what is yogic diet? First of the quality of yogic diet is it must be sweet in nature, natural sweet, and not the artificial sweetener. There must be like honey you can use in yogic diet, pure honey. Nuts you can use in yogic diet. The jaggery you can use in yogic diet, and dates you can use as sweetener in yogic diet.
Fig.
Yes, so all these sweeteners or the natural sweets comes under yogic diet. Why? Because it enhances the Jaఠaragni, that is the digestive fire. Okay. And anybody can take it, even the person who is suffering from diabetes, because it is good for everybody. And honey is the best for everybody because honey has fructose, okay, not the glucose. So it can be digested by the patient who is suffering from diabetes also.
As a therapist, in my experience till now, I didn't have so compromised people to cure with yoga, no?
Yes.
Who is coming for yoga therapy? Okay, there is a disease, there is a illness maybe, but it's not so much deep and
Yes, they want
risky.
they are in hurry.
Yes.
Okay, yes, tell me some asanas, I will do that. It's okay, but you need to keep in mind all these things. Okay, so anybody who come to you and they say I am totally dedicated to yoga and just let me know all these things. So therapeutic yoga is also very helpful. Diet. The next quality is obviously easily digestible. Okay, it must be balanced and easily digestible. Other quality is susnigdha, means it must be liquid, more liquid in nature, either semi-liquid or liquid, either in the form of soup, either in the form of having more liquid content, less. That's why you will notice in India we eat our food with soup like thing, that is pulse, okay, every day. Okay, we never eat rice dry.
Yes.
Okay, we always take some liquid and then add the dry thing in that liquid and then we eat. This is the culture in India. Now it is changing, but it is the ancient culture. We always use pulse or soup and then add the, even with the chapatis. Okay, so it is important to more, as a yoga therapist, we need to understand the liquid or semi-liquid diet mostly. Last but not the least is offered to the energy, supreme energy. Before taking the food, you need to chant some mantras, you need to connect with the nature, you need to connect with the supreme energy. Offer that food to the supreme energy and take that food as the blessing of that supreme energy inside. That will become your medicine, okay, not just the food. So whatever you eat, you must do praying. Pray is very important before taking the food. It is also mentioned in Gita. And very common mantra for praying is Gayatri mantra. Okay, you can chant Gayatri mantra, you can chant Om, just simple, and then you can start. Or whatever pray you do in your language, you can do. Okay, so this is important. So these are the basic qualities of a yogic diet, and try to follow the sun cycle. This is also how to decide what to eat, when to eat according to the sun movement. Okay, so mostly before 12 we eat raw vegetables, fruits, after 12 the sun going down, so we eat cooked food, cooked on the fire, not the raw food. And in the night only hot drink, okay, any hot drink, either milk, either soup, either very light food, okay. So this is the basic, because as the sun is going down, our digestion is slowing down. So we need to eat very easily digestible food after 3 p.m. So this is a basic sun cycle. We have to try to follow. Lifestyle, like if you are your lifestyle, the last but not the least is the lifestyle. If you are having stagnant lifestyle, no motion or very less motion, sitting on the chair working for the whole day, this kind of lifestyle, then do some movements sitting on the chair only. Like you can do neck and head movements, you can do shoulder and hands movements, you can do leg movements, knee movements, the smaller finger and toes movements, okay, eyes movements. So you need to utilize that time also for basic practices. Movements are very important. So you can suggest that if your work is like that and can't avoid that, then you need to do practices in that position also. Okay, like if you are working on the laptop, just keep moving your toes, okay, for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, it's okay. If you are your eyes are stressed, squeeze the eyes and rotate the eyes in different way. So how you can inculcate these practices in day-to-day life, you need to counsel that to the patient, okay. And how to change other things, like what kind of bed sheet you use to sleep on, is it very spongy or is it very comfortable, you need to change that. It must be comfortable for your spine, not for the body only, okay. Your spine must be erect, either any kind of bed sheet, doesn't matter, but your spine must be erect when you lie down on that, okay. It must not take any unwanted position or posture, okay. In order to have more and more comfort, don't mislead with the body deformity. So this is very important. So keep in mind about the bed sheet you use, pillow you use, okay, not very larger, not very thinner. So these things you need to keep in mind.
This is an endless war.
Yeah, that's why yoga is called lifestyle. One of the definition, very famous definition of yoga is lifestyle.
Yes.
It is not something you should do 1 hour. You have to inculcate how you clean your floor, okay, not hunch straight, okay. How you clean your room, how you wash your cloth, how you wash your dish.
The attitude, the mental attitude.
Yes, the mental attitude.
The emotional that you have.